Hello, Scuba Believers, and welcome to episode number 77, double sevens, of The Undiscovered Entrepreneur. And it's me, Scoob, coming at you on whatever device you happen to be listening on. Okay, today, Scuba Believer of the Week is going to be Mandy May. Now, Mandy May actually started liking a lot of my stuff on TikTok. TikTok has actually been blowing up for me right now, so please check out Mandy's information in the show notes. And if you'd like to see more about what I got going on TikTok, please find me there at DJ Scoob 2021 on TikTok. All right, so today we are talking to an experienced entrepreneur, and his name is Patrice. You might remember Patrice from my Undiscovered Advice episodes that I had going on. He actually had several of pieces of advice for us in that episode, so I really thought we could have him here on the podcast. Now, in the podcast, we talk about the importance of authenticity and embracing your true self, and we emphasize not, conforming to social expectations and trying to be someone that you're actually not. We discuss challenges and dealing with criticism and embracing individuality. We also talk about finding happiness and fulfillment beyond just, financial success. We talk about his journey and initial obsessment with money, but in the end, there was a lot more to it than just money. We also highlight the importance of pursuing your passion, and he resonates with current trend of people seeking more meaningful and purposeful careers. The power of resilience and overcoming failures. We talk about his experience in the 2008 crash and having to rebuild from the ground up again, and discussing the importance of reframing failure. So we are definitely going to get right into the thick of things with Patrice. Salutations, Scuba Believers, and we are here again with another amazing entrepreneur. Today we're interviewing an experienced entrepreneur. Say hi to Patrice. Hi, Patrice.
Bonjour.
Hey. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be on the Undiscovered Entrepreneur. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right. So before we get any further here, I'm going to ask you kind of a semi-serious question. Okay, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Are you a scuba believer?
Of course I am. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Patrice, for being a scuba believer. I super appreciate you. So what I'd like to do here at the very beginning is just kind of get an idea of who you are, what your entrepreneur adventure is, and how kind of it got started.
Yes. So it started out as a kid. I always knew that I was going to be my own boss. I was going to help the world, and whatever I pick, I was going to be the best at it. And it ended up being hair, fashion. It morphed into getting to manage three salons from Paris. So for one of the biggest brand in Paris, I was managing three salons at the age of 18. And that's when I really discovered that this was something I loved. Like I thrived on leading, guiding, teaching, helping others, building teams. And that got me to move to the US at age 18, actually. But a year later, after launching the salon for my boss, I was like, can't do that anymore. I've got to be my own boss. So I opened my own salon and spa in Miami, in Aventura, which is prestigious. Like it was in a country club, golf club, and that got me now to be exposed to the luxury I was building already in Bal Harbor shops in Miami, and that got me to know, all right, now where do I go from here? Because I want more, more, more. So more became working with TV, starting really getting into the local market. But I thought, I came here to conquer Hollywood. That's something that's super clear to me. I'm great at what I do. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. So I hired my PR in Beverly Hills, who started now exposing me to Hollywood, the red carpet, and becoming really part of something. Now I'm getting the clients from A-listers that you would recognize to big shot the studios, CEOs, and so it started really morphing into, all right, now I'm really getting into where I want. That said, in the meantime, I was building another three businesses in Miami, but where I was not focused is there was no rhyme or reason. Money became an obsession to a degree of I had to make it, I had to do it. It's yes, I'm going to be so rich and America is my dream. Only somewhere up there the lesson had to be taken. 2008 came around, the crash came obviously on a global scale. And now I'm resistant to it. My ego cannot take that. I'm going to the crash. Went to the crash even bigger in 2010. And that's when I realized, because from four businesses, and they were either real estate related or everything that had to do with the economy, and everything went to an end. And then I had a business partner that was nothing but a common thief. And so he stole from me. I owed a lot of money in a friend of mine in Paris, which at the time the euro was double the dollar. So now I'm sleeping in my car and I'm thinking, all right, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Because I was always obsessed with the fact of being successful. I had to be making money, showing as I am this entrepreneur that's so cool. And now I'm not cool anymore. I don't have anything to show for. What do I do with that? And that's really when I reset my vision, mission, and purpose. Understanding, all right, I did great. I built something from zero. I came in this country not knowing a soul. Fast forward, I'm part of something, which is the Hollywood and this and that. But more importantly, it is all the knowledge I've acquired, the passion I still have. I'm still young. What is wrong with me with this whole my chatterbox and my drama in my own head? And that's when I moved to Beverly Hills full time. But now I'm starting thinking there is something missing in it. All right, I got there, but what do I can? How can I fulfill that dream? When I was a little boy, I remember wanting to help the world. I wanted to make the world a better place. I was always very sensitive about hunger and kids and Ethiopia. I was very, very predominant in my head. Now I'm like, okay. But then I also saw the chaos on social media. And then one day I was in New York City because I was sharing there my life between Beverly Hills and Manhattan. And I'm sitting, there was no sound, and I'm watching this TV where it's like this famous family, which is just nothing but a hot mess. But more importantly, I'm thinking this is the example of what is going on now and has the inspiration of the young generation. And it was very clear that I had to write a book. And my first book is really about the beauty with it. Don't think that fixing the outside is going to align with the inside. You start with the inside. Let me give you the 7 steps to go over a successful makeover. Because basically, you're making over your life, yourself. That got well received. A keynote speaker in New York signed me in. Now I started performing on stage, getting really my message across in front of crowds instead of one on one or the TV. That was a very new medium for me. And that's when I really felt like my level of my call was there. And to me, I thought, all right, now what else? Oh, a second book. So I wrote a second book. And in the process of that, I started constructing this coaching for executives and entrepreneurs, actually, but either emerging on a high level. Of course, I first started with a high level, realizing also I can help the beginners because now it's really easy for an entrepreneur to say, okay, I've got $5 in my bag, and I'm going to make it on a wing and a prayer. It doesn't work like that. I started realizing I'm going to help them because I went through that pain thinking, it's okay. I don't need any capital. I can just do it and wing it, and realize, wow, shit, I had to borrow some money here and I had to do something. So at that moment, I thought, all right, now let's do the second book. Let's get closer to my message. Let's understand what I do. And essentially, the second book, Mind Your Impact as an Interventionist, is really about saying, now you're here to build your brand. And your brand starts with your appearance. And your appearance is actually how you're going to convey that message clearly. The visual cues you're picking, or how you're going to tell the world, this is my message. This is how I'm transmitting what I am. I'm communicating who I am. And from it, I also created an online course that actually just came out a few days ago. It's literally just happened. And that's the journey for the last 25 years.
Wow, that's amazing. What an amazing story. You come from a long way, Patrice.
Yes, I finally give myself the credit and allow myself to give the credit to making a difference between owning your space and being arrogant about your success. And it's the difference I was able to finally make because I was very young. I mean, super young. I was very arrogant about my success. I was very like, yes, I'm cool. I am that guy. But then when I lost everything, and my friends were like, "Are you kidding me? Do you understand what you built? You've done what people have not done. They were born in this country. They had all the opportunities that they never took. You came here not knowing your soul at the age of 18. You could have been on drugs. You could have been in the wrong situations. You could have abandoned. You could have let go because it's too much effort. You just was so resilient that you still are today. In fact, my friend, last week we had a meeting because of possible venture together with a third party. And he said to me, "Your resilience is like, I mean, I look like I'm lazy next to you." And I was like, "Really?" And it made me realize, like, feeling good, not feeling, "Yeah, you kidding? I'm cool." No, it was more like, "Yeah, wow, yeah, that's true. I need to embrace that." I actually sell, as far as branding, the authenticity of who we are and how to embrace the within to shine out. And I was like, "Yeah." So yeah, my journey is pretty cool, and there's a lot more in it, but I gave you the main lines of it.
It's amazing to me how we start from somewhere that's really big, but then we have this great fall, the first one that you had in 2008. But if it wasn't for actually having that great fall, you wouldn't have built yourself back up to be able to write those 2 books and become a keynote speaker and those kind of things. Who knows what would have happened if you didn't have that fall or that failure?
For sure. To me, that's the thing. I felt like it was, I always say that, and people are, "Really?" I said, "It was the best thing that happened in my life, actually. For so far, it is. Of course, now I want to see some great contract and some good stuff coming, but really, joke apart, it was such a great way of understanding really why do I exist? Why am I here? Why did I pick this dream to become a reality? And that turned into something that was so much greater. Gratefulness is something I've learned in the process of that. I never knew gratefulness. I took everything for granted prior to it. And when that happened, it was like, wow, no, I'm actually lucky. Every day is a lucky day. Every day is a good day. And even if the day goes sometime, I mean, it's not like everything goes the way we want, but also knowing how to embrace, all right, there is a problem, where's the solution, rather than being like, oh, dramatic about it. And that was me before, where it's like, oh, no, no, or do I need to pay someone so that problem goes away? Instead, it's like, all right, let's look at the root of the problem and how's the solution. And that's really what an entrepreneur does. It's really about problems and solutions, because many times we do something, the outcome is not what we expected it to be, and then it's okay, but it's not a failure. That's why I left failure behind me in 2010. I realized, no, there's no failure. There's only experiences. And in fact, I have a couple of kids, college kids that I'm mentoring for free. And and I say that to them from right now. Failure is not even a word that's going to be part of what we do. And one of the kid is already with me for 3 years, 3.5 years. He's 21 now. And he was telling me, "Oh my God, I don't say failure anymore now." I said, "It took 2, 3 years to get here. We meet weekly." And because failure is just such a horrible connotation. Failure, what is failure anyway? Failure is only the result you don't want, that you didn't expect, or you don't accept for now. But this is not because you're dumb, because your IQ is not there, or because you didn't put the effort or the time or money. No, it's just an experience, and it didn't come out the way you want, but it's not a failure. It's an experience.
Exactly. And it's what we do with those experiences and those pitfalls that we come across is what makes us who we are. How we handle those failures, how we handle those situations, and incorporate it into what we learn from them that makes us who we are. Like I say this a lot on my podcast. Fail first attempt in learning. If we fail, it's just because you're trying to learn something from it, and then what you do is incorporate that learning into whatever the next you go into.
Absolutely. This is it. I mean, I know, and as an entrepreneur, because we fired by this rage to succeed, and we want to win, and it's also an ego trip, because at the beginning it's an ego trip, because if we fall, it's like, oh my God, like I mean, I was totally that guy. Oh my God, I'm a loser. Who's gonna associate with me? No one's gonna want with me. I don't have anything anymore, so I'm not worthy of anything. Because my worth initially was really based upon my belongings, my properties, my bank account. It was Only that. That was my worthiness until realizing it could be zero on my bank account. That does not make me a loser or not a person that actually brings something good to this world.
You don't have to have a huge amount of money to be able to be happy about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Bringing happiness to other people has its own rewards.
For sure. I mean, the reward of just learning and every time making one step, even if it's a baby step forward, and you get that result, that's something, even if it's a small contract, one sale in your day. Embrace that because of course then and we go further in the process of it, spirituality is definitely a component entrepreneurs know because they understand that it's not just doing some Buddhist home, but it's really about that moment in time, that right here, right now moment is the only one that counts. So the more relaxed you are in the process of the ups and the downs, I mean, it's not for everybody to be an entrepreneur. That's why I have some friends, they rather have a mega career, but they need a check every month. They say, I could never live like you do. And that's true. It's not, we're not all built for that life, but it's really understanding and learning to chill, and when something goes off rail, not the way we want it to be, it's like, all right, what do I learn from it? And then you take that learning experience, knowing where you went sideways, and then you just keep on going. And that's it. And that becomes an experience that makes you who you become. So it's super important to chill every day to know what is it that I want to do? What is the goal of the day? All that is very important. Put those three most important things every day on a piece of paper. Write them down. Don't type them. Write them down. Memorize them. Feel them. Now you have a purpose because that's what it is. When you are an entrepreneur, you have a social responsibility, you have a personal responsibility, and you have a responsibility towards a team of people, even if you have one person. So now you're a leader. You inspire, you guide, you teach, you help, whatever word it's fitting how your mindset is. But that's what you do. So please, every day is important to stop in order to move forward.
Exactly. Very, very good words, Patrice. Thank you very much. We all have to, we really do need to keep that in mind. Back when you were getting started, I'm just curious if you've had any mentors or people that you followed to get you to where you wanted to go, anything like that?
People will relate, and authenticity is good. I'm not going to dwell on it, but that's the thing. When I was a kid, I was bullied a good amount. I was super shy back, super shy. You wouldn't know now because the camera is my friend, but back then, not quite. And then I had a father that was not exactly an example of love. So by being really tough verbally and physically and all, it was more actually the way I engineered that it was towards I'm going to do great. I'm going to make my life a purpose. I'm going to do something greater than life and larger than life. But it fueled me to understand that no, actually I shouldn't hear that I'm worthless. I'm actually worth something. So even in the middle of my, not even shy, I was much more than that. I don't even know what word to use. I was like so like, I mean, I was introverted to the point of like sickness and anxiety. And then little by little, and moving to the US really made me me. It was like my second life. I had a second life at 18 because suddenly I had my own life. I got to be in a culture where it felt like because it's new and no one knows me and I don't know anybody, it was a rebirth of some sort. And that's why that really what fueled me. And I always had that in me to want to do something. It was just an instinct right there. So not so much a mentor per se or someone next to me to say, yeah, you're doing great. No, I really felt my own guts, took them and said, all right, how am I making sense of all that? How am I learning from myself? How am I learning to love myself? How do I acknowledge the love that I have for me? And how do I spread that love and it turns into something? And that's why coaching to me is supernatural because I love taking someone from where they are until where they want to become.
It's a whole different feeling too when you're actually able to do that and watch them grow because you were able to help them or point them in a direction that just made it better for them. That's why I love doing coaching too. I love saying, if you do this, you're going to experience something similar to what I did. And then they grow from that And then they become a whole new person, a whole different person that they would have been if they didn't get the information from you or if you didn't point them in a specific direction so they knew where to go. A lot of times when you're coaching somebody, they don't know what to do or where to go. But to be able to guide them into a place where you know that once they get there, they could continue growing on their own and becoming the person that they were really meant to be.
It, of course, mentoring is such a powerful thing, and it's not just again, it for some maybe it's an ego thing, and but it's really about the quality of the value you bring and how the loss like this kid that I was referring earlier. His name is David, and looking at him turning from he just started college until 3 years later, 3.5 actually years later, and he's in Georgia Tech, brilliant. He only wants to be the president of this country one day. That's how brilliant the kid is. But to see the difference and having him saying, "Oh my God, remember when I had this situation, I used to react that way, and now I'm reacting this way." Or clients that I have that are extremely successful, but really bridging them into whatever they were looking for, wherever they were stuck, whether in their own life, personal, professional, and knowing that I brought value to their lives. So now, because of that, I kind of took that knot and tied it, made it smooth, and now they can continue and selling away with the winds in their back, like pushing them forward. That is an incredible reward
Absolutely. It doesn't get much better than that.
for sure.
All right. In hindsight, I mean, is there a failure that you're actually proud of? I mean, I'm glad I had this failure. We touched on that a little bit earlier, but do you have anything else maybe that might kind of come to mind when it comes to something like that?
No, my biggest one really is when having to accept to. I remember being at the lawyer's office when he said, "Okay, you understand this is it. This is it. This is over." And I was like, "What do you mean? No, I'm sure there is, I don't know, a loan." Is what do you mean loan? You have 12 properties. There's no way there's no loan here. And there's no nothing anyway because nothing is worth, I mean, it's worth a fraction of what you, it is, you need to understand this is it. You need to file for personal bankruptcy. And I thought, okay, only losers do that. I am not doing that. I'm so not doing it. And it's like, where are you going from here? That's the answer. And I kind of tried to like go one way. No, no. Until I had to literally, I remember sitting in the office and then I was like, ouch, what? I'm going to file for personal bankruptcy? How is that even possible? Yeah, and I did. And guess what? I actually got so close to my finances and it taught me to learn how to build. Even that, when I saw my credit score going up and up by 5 points, by 1 point, by 10 points, I was so proud because now, okay, I'm purposeful, I'm mindful, I do it with a sense of knowing where I'm going. There's a goal in it. And that was really yeah, that was to me even bigger than losing it all per se on the financial side. It was the personal, my ego got crushed to a degree of no return at that very moment. I remember thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I signed those papers. So, yeah,
Awesome. It's not good, but it's good at the same time. And it's just like we said before, we really have to take that fall sometimes to get up to greatness.
sure. And that's really what it was. I mean, because I was also extremely disrespectful towards money. I was spending it as fast as I was making it. At the end, I was spending it faster than I was making it. And it taught me a massive lesson. And now I treat money very differently. And of course, I want to be even more successful than before. And I'm working towards that goal. And some of the things now is finally moving along. But now I'm looking at money very, very differently. So it taught me a great lesson. Yeah, for sure.
I think you're looking at money differently, but you're also looking at other people and yourself differently than before.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean, now it's like people I know come for me because I used to be so generous, but also my generosity was probably fueled. I mean, I'm a good guy by nature. I was not just doing it for being the the celebrity in the middle of the group of my friends. But there was a thing where it's, yes, I'm inviting everyone and I'm paying the bills. And as of for now, my friends are here in my circle for me. I have taught also myself to be authentic. There's some other stuff in my life that I had to come to saying yes to and having to embrace it and realize, okay, the friends that are staying around me, that means they're my friends. So they're really here for me. And that within itself was self mastery all the way.
Absolutely. If they're around you for you, I mean, you can tell if they're around you for you and not for other, maybe possibly even nefarious things. Who knows? But you could definitely tell when people are around you, they're there for you and your authenticity. And I could tell, Patrice, you're very authentic about yourself and what you do.
I do, yes. And then to the point, because that's the thing. Often people, often, more often than not, and it's more kind of 95% of the time, when people ask you their opinion, whatever it is, a girl that just bought a dress, could you tell me how it looks on me? Okay. And I'm like, one chance. Are you ready for it or not? I mean, for the answer. And it's like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Also, to get to realize that people around you, and that's part of entrepreneurship, by the way, it's really knowing that you are not made for everybody and not everybody is going to love you. And authenticity, which is spirituality, by the way, which goes back to it, meaning you embrace your own space. Now you know that saying yes or saying no to something puts you on one side or the other. And America, that's the one thing, loves to put you in boxes. So now when you start being in none of those boxes, because it's like, I am me, embracing me, now you're going to have friends, but you're going to have the trolls, the enemies, the haters. You're going to have all that together, especially now we're exposed to social media. You will have people that will throw stuff at you can't even believe because they have nothing better to do. So my authenticity took me a long time because he was like, oh, Patrice, you have a big mouth. You speak really loud. And I do speak loud. I mean, yes, I do. My pitch is high. But oh, but you mean? Or I'm like, mean? Have you met me? No. What did I do to anybody to hurt anyone? I would even hurt an animal or an insect. Or I mean, it's like, what? That's not even, that's foreign to my nature. And I realized, oh, I'm a big mouth or I'm loud. It really means you say your truth and it bothers me, or I wish I would be you. Because there's a thing too in the haters, they wish they would be you. That I can actually, yeah, look at a group of people, they ask me for something, and and it could be anything. It's random. The other day, my client takes me down. It's a super luxury building in Miami. But for instance, I mean, okay, you want to talk about, but so it was late. Is like, all right, let me take you for dinner and then let's go down to the club and then have dinner and drinks. Okay. This guy shows up out of nowhere. And so he comes and say hi. And all right, hi, hi. He goes, oh, Patrice, I love it because you say the truth, which I'm like, oh, I don't think this is good. I don't think this is going really where I want it to be. I'm here. It's 10 p.m. I'm tired. I want to eat and have a drink. He goes, don't you think whatever his first name is, he's gay? I'm like, what? What do you mean? He goes, no, but if you saw him, like you don't know him, like you don't say hi to him, but you know, and I say, yeah, your energy, the energy about you, yeah, it feels like it. And the guy now is defending himself to say, no, no, I'm straight. And that's the thing. I'm like, first of all, I didn't say one way or the other. I've been asked something. I answered truthfully. That's an example, but it's not like I'm not judging or I'm not even doing anything. I was sitting here anyway in peace. But because of my authenticity, that's the thing. I could have gone to the route of, are you kidding me? I'm not mixing with this. A lot of people do that. You need to be politically correct. No, I look at the guy, yeah, I say his aura, his energy to me was gay. But that doesn't mean anything anyway, because I don't care. I don't know him. And right now I'm hungry and I want my drink. So and it was that's like a perfect example. And in any setting, when I told that to my friends, they were like, you answered the real thing? I'm like, yeah. I mean, he asked me. Yeah, the feeling, the vibe I received from him was, well, he was gay, yeah, but great. But who cares anyway? And yeah, I was asked a question, I answered authentically. And you see, for most of those people, then you get crucified for saying the truth and say, oh my God, what? You know, actually, the guy was really cool. I have to say, he reacted to say, no, 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 I'm straight. I love women. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I don't care. But it's really the example of authenticity. And again, it's back to the example of a friend and she's wearing a dress. And I'm like, no, it's too tight. It doesn't go on you or for this or that reason. And it's an assessment, not a judgment. And you came to me for my opinion. I asked you, I gave you one warning to say, are you fully ready for the answer? Yes or no? You said yes. Well, now let's go. So, yeah.
As a creative or a creative type, we actually want to have somebody critique and be more authentic for us. I mean, it's nice to hear, yeah, you look, this is great, or this looks good, or I like the color of this, or whatever. But what we're really looking for is, this is nice, but I would really do something like this. I would love to hear a critique more than hearing a yes guy say, yes, this is good, because of course it's nice to hear yes and hear that's good, but I would like to improve on myself, and the only way I can improve on myself is to hear the real deal. To hear that if I change the color of this, you might have a better chance of accomplishing what you need to accomplish, or edit it this way, or whatever it is. I would much rather hear some kind of critique than a yes.
No, I agree. I mean, when I ask an opinion, I'm fully ready and I say, I'm fully ready. I mean, okay, but I mean, I don't know. I'm like, please do so. Tell me. And this is the thing, or then they'll tell you, but okay, but don't take it the wrong way, or don't take it personally. I'm like, okay, unless my English just got really shaky suddenly, I just said I don't take things personally. In fact, losing it all was great for me. I was so nervous about being loved by everybody. And I walk into the room and is everybody love me and think I'm good looking or I'm wonderful, I'm intelligent, or I don't care because this is the thing, it's part of it. And so that, and it goes back to that, to asking, the question and being truthful. It's the thing, people always have to, with the before the answer, yeah, but no, but I don't want to hurt you, I don't want you to take it personally. I'm like, okay, no, please. And no one knows how to do that because this is the problem with society, and social media has done a great job at messing it up, which is embrace yourself, be who you are, love who you are, show up as who you are. Eventually, one day, you're like, okay, cool. Today, I'm me. And then you get out there, and especially with social media and all the trolls, it becomes, you get bashed for it. You get crucified for it. So, of course, now people are like taking their shell, closing it back up, and say, all right, oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to just play safe in the middle. Where's the middle anyway? Because at some point, you will meet someone, regardless, that's going to not stand you, hate you, doesn't like you. So at the end, you're still going to have to take a position one way or the other. So might as well embrace who you are right here, right now.
And be authentic.
That's it.
That's it. All right. In your vast number of accomplishments up until this point, is there one that you're actually really super proud of?
Yeah, loving myself. Yeah, more than everything I did. That was the longest journey. The longest journey, like what I just said, not taking things personally. Oh God. I used to take everything to heart because I'm super sensitive. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I'm an intuitive. But it doesn't mean for that, I mean, I forgot the part of loving me. And yeah, loving me is the biggest accomplishment I did. Like really truthfully saying that when someone throws something at me or criticizes me, it it doesn't even phase me because there is enough people in this planet to connect with. That's why when you build your community, and I'm gonna give you quick data, and that's JB who had this mastermind, and I belong to it, and that's how I understood going from where I was to digital and creating a one-on-one relationship into a form of selling it multiple times through digital. And when they we were talking actually about the popularity contest, how hard it is to be you, to embrace you. And he said, all right, how many people do you think likes you? And how many people? So most of the group, we were about 17 people. It was a really, really high level mastermind. And we all said just about 50-50. Some maybe came 45, 55. And he's like, all right, let me break the news to you. 80% of people, either they dislike you, they can't stand you, they hate you, they would throw something at you if they could, So that's 80%. Oh, wow. So only 20% like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm not finished. 10% of the remaining 20, now, one way or the other, they don't hate, but they don't care. So you're here, you're not here, but they don't hate you. They just don't care. Okay? Oh, so 10% love you. No, no, not 10% love you. 5% are actually kind of interested in what you do, kind of go for what you do. Maybe you have a community, something for sale, you have a podcast that you do, or and they'll listen to you on occasion, they'll buy something from you, maybe, maybe not, but they're not attached to you. You're part of their world, and yeah, on occasion, suddenly they say they hear something from you that resonates with them, but they're not you following like following. Okay. So what's left? 5%. So now I'm thinking, ugh, I mean, everybody, of course, like 5% of people. Yeah, but those 5%, they're going to buy everything you do. They're going to listen to everything you have to say. They're going to want to interact with you. They're going to love you. They're going to respect you. Okay. And then he took the example of America. He's like, how many people are in this country? All right, 360 million or whatever. Okay. Just make it 5% of that group that you want to know. 5% of those people, that market, and of course, it narrows down into who is your avatar, who you're speaking to, but it's still 5%. And then he took it as an example. I did a pyramid schematic on the paper, graphic, to understand that if you have 100 people every month that will buy what you have, follow what you do, go to every one of your webinars and seminars or whatever you have, 100 people, you're a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And when he put it that way, and it was on smaller price ticket items, and I was like, oh, okay. Looking at it that way, suddenly to me, that really helped me actually in the process of loving me. And it's funny because it was a piece of paper. The example was very, very simple, but I got to realize he's right. Where is that quest of being always loved and cherished by everybody? No, I actually not. I don't want everybody to love me. It's fine. My community is all I need. Whoever is in that circle, it's because they are attracted to what I have to say, what I offer, my value proposition, whatever it is that I have that they're attracted to, and that's enough. And that's good to go. Same thing with your friends. Who wants to have 20 million friends? Having 5 is a huge amount in one's life. Like 5 people you can really count on, it's enormous. So there you go. So that to me is the biggest accomplishment, to be able to come to that place authentically, really saying, I really don't care. Or someone say, oh, that guy, that girl said that about, yeah, okay. Can we move on? What are we gonna have for dinner? And it's it. And it's very easy for me.
Yeah, there is actually a book that you can read called A Thousand True Fans. And that's really all you need. You don't have to have millions of followers and people to at least make a minimal living. But then you have to see the quality of those people are so much better than having thousands upon millions of fans. Just have a few that are really fully meaningful. And then from there on, it just grows.
You're right, actually, and it was not 100, by the way. That was the one mistake I made. It was 1,000. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. That was, I still JB got it from the book. I know because he reads a ton. Yeah, that was 1,000 people. But
Yeah.
you know, 1,000 people in America for the market you go after, that's all you need. Yes, for sure.
All right. This is going to be an interesting question. Now, we've actually answered this question once already because you were on my podcast segment of undiscovered advice. But I'm going to do one here too. If you were to just run into somebody who's just making the leap into entrepreneurship, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yes. How ready are you? And when I mean ready, yes, I'm sure you're passionate, you're excited, your enthusiasm is oozing off you. Great. But the problem with that also, that enthusiasm could just blind you, and too many people do it, and the statistics speak for themselves every year. It's literally now, I think it went up to 93% of entrepreneurs fail the first year. That's enormous. Only a few are they biting the dust and they're able to get up and continue. Most of the people, it is because they come unprepared. And again, I understand. And often, because I actually speak in colleges to international business and entrepreneurial groups, and it's this thing. Oh my God, I got this idea. Okay. And the first thing is, that is the biggest one. Okay, question. Yeah, go ahead. How do I make $1 million the first year I open my business? Oh, why not that question? Which I had asked a million times. That $1 million question was a million times and has been. It is not that. If you're obsessed with already your balance sheet and how much money you're going to make, you could just stop it now and save your efforts, your money, your blood, your sweat, everything in between. Save them. You are going to fail. And that's important to understand. Now you start with where is your passion? Because your passion is, I mean, it's crucial because every day of your life now, if you're an entrepreneur, there is no more weekend hours, office hours. Oh, you're going to be the first one and the last one. And then when you're going to have an office, you're going to clean it too, by the way. You're going to empty the garbage because there's not going to be budget for somebody to come around or a team or company to come and no, that won't be happening. So it is crucial to identify your passion, to put in writing what is your vision, mission, and purpose. And third, where is the money from? How much do you have? And now, have you done that balance sheet so well that you know how much money you need for your overhead, your marketing, possibly some help? Often entrepreneurs start on their own, so they don't have a salary or an employee. But whatever expenses need to go, maybe equipment, machinery, whatever it is that you choose to do, or inventory, maybe if you're a retail thing. But you need to have those three things so clear: passion, where you're going with that on a balance sheet, and where's the money and how much do you have at hand. Knowing that money, by the way, just to give you a perfect landscape, is you need to have money for a year of operation. And of course, when they say, oh, I'm going to succeed the first month. Yeah, okay. Wishful thinking, it can happen, only happen in 3% of the cases that people make money the first year. I was a lucky one, I did, and I was lucky, but I mean, I very specifically chose where I opened my first business. But yeah, actually 2 years later, I was making $1 million with $1.2 million of sales, not profit, but it's rare. And that's the thing, the whole million, because when they hear my story and they say, oh my God, you made your first million, you were 21, and I'm like, no, I didn't make my first million, but I did make it in my business. Yes, I did. But that's the thing. And I know, again, being an entrepreneur, there's something so exciting about it. The idea of being on your own. No one is going to tell you what to do. It's huge, but it comes at a price. So to minimize that price, you need to have those three things. Because if you're not passionate, remember that 6 days a week, you're going to be working like a dog. You will. And it's going to be the emails and the emergencies and the problem that you didn't foresee. And now they're in front of you. And how do you clean that problem with a solution? Now, if you didn't calculate clearly and put on a piece of paper, how does that business looks like? And now you miscalculated the money that it is, and now you cannot pay rent. Ooh, that order just came in. Ooh, I need to repair that. No money. What do? You shut down the business and you're done. So it's very important.
Absolutely. And we have to kind of take into context how much money would actually make us happy. Would $1 million make us happy? Yeah, probably. But really, if you think about it, if I was just to bring 100,000 into my life, that would change my life completely. I don't need $1 million. Doesn't really have to be that much. It's just the quality of what you have to come up with and your mindfulness of what you actually need to be there and make you happy. It's probably more doable than trying to get to $1 million in your first month.
Oh, for sure. That $1 million thing drives me nuts because, but that's the problem of the world. And I mean, I've seen it. I see it with my friends' kids, or my clients' kids, but the people that touch but the kids, oh, the first question, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, oh, but you know what? Good luck with that one. By the way, if you have the recipe, I'll buy it from you right here, right now. Seriously, I'll make you an offer. Because it's like, what do you mean? What do you love doing? I don't know. I'll be a luxury realtor. Okay, I'll be the whatever comes in their mind, and I'm like, okay, okay, but now, okay, that's what you love doing. No, I don't care. I want to make money. You don't care. You want to make money doing something you hate or do something you don't know enough. Because by the way, with passion comes knowledge, and people come to you because now they can trust you. And if you're not passionate about what you do, by the way, entrepreneurs, good luck with that one too. Because if you fake it until you make it, the whole rule, especially in LA, they love that fake it until you make it. Yeah, to a degree, we sometimes embellish a little bit at the beginning. Yeah, we do, but chill. Because if you spend your life on fake it until you make it, that means you're a liar. You disalign with who you are. And by this misalignment actually creates what? This vibration that you are actually exuding. And because we are reactive beings, we're made out of 75% of water. We receive vibrations from one another, just like music next to a speaker. It's the same thing. And by doing that and that whole faking thing, no one wants to be next to somebody fake. If you're passionate and you talk about what you do so with so much love, that people are going to want to listen to that story. And even if they don't, maybe on occasion you're not going to be up the part on everything, but that level of passion will definitely drive now their trust. Because for any transaction, I don't care if it's dating, I don't care if it's a business, whatever it is that you do, it's transactional. And for that transaction to happen, you need to trust. You're not going to marry someone just because you just met them and they look good, they look hot, they're a 10 or whatever it is. It's about, yeah, I know I could see me being with that person for the rest of my life. Or I can do business with this guy or with this girl because, yeah, there's a level of trust that's there. Yeah, I think we can do something good together. Now, if you think this one is a Ponzi professional, what are you going to do? Run the other way. Same thing for you. Don't think you're smarter than others, because then you're going to meet someone who's going to be your master. And when I mean that, I don't mean that in some fun sexual way. It's going to be someone who's going to call you on your bull and say, yeah, thanks, I'll pass because I could tell that everything you just told me is not even real. And that's the thing. So be that passion drives you far more than a good conversation. It's actually going to build your community and your business.
Well spoken, Patrice. Thank you very much. That's amazing. Applause. Applause. Yes, there you go. All right. What I like to do here is with all my guests on my podcasts is to get a 6 month goal for you and your company. So Patrice, where do you see yourself and your company in the next 6 months?
That's a great question because it's literally all happening. It's happening now. Like I just hired a digital agency. So that's for the coaching, which is a 9 weeks executive coaching. And now we literally just putting everything together. We actually finishing. We have another 2 weeks of really tightening everything together so then we can start the promotion. And then a few days ago, we started the promoting, and that's with my team to do the online course, which is do it yourself. Although actually in it, I'm throwing for people that are buying the course, I'm gonna actually, because I feel like they cannot just do it on their own. So it's 25 modules, five videos per modules, and each of them is an exercise. And some of them are super deep. So what I do as a bonus on top, I'll throw the fact of a meeting at the end of the module and say, all right, how does it look? What did you do? How did you do? And etc. So in 6 months, I want to have done so great with it, because more so than the money, and of course, money is part of the engine, but it's really saying, finally, now I'm helping to a greater level, and I've understood clearly my USP. And that is within itself, like in 6 months, I want to have hundreds of people in my community. I really want to get on doing private events with just a group, have a private group where you're going to be a member only because you're truly interested in what I do and building your brand and being able to understand your message and all that. And so in 6 months, yeah, I'd love to have a private group, a good amount of people, just even a couple hundred. And that's the thing. Again, quality over quantity. And that's something really important. I'm not looking, like you said, I don't want to. Yes, no, I want 1 million followers, yes. But often it's misconstrued as if I have 1 million followers, that's great. I look at the engagement is horrible. It means nothing. Someone clicking like on your picture does not engage him or her to become your follower. They're your follower because you fall into the pit of other whatever you're selling or showing or sharing. So that's why to me it's more important to have super quality, less people. But in 6 months, if I end up with a couple hundred people super engaged, then I'm gonna do private events for them, whether online or in person, upon this is going to start developing. But that's how I see it.
Fantastic. So what I'd like to do with you, Patrice, if it's okay with you, is I'd like to actually follow up with you in 6 months and see if we've actually reached some of those goals. Is that okay?
Oh, I love that. Accountability, that's great. Because that's another thing when you're an entrepreneur, it's super tough. You're on your own. Kids, you better understand that this is not someone who's going to say, oh, you're doing a great job. You're so wonderful. You're amazing. No one will. If people speak, they're the trolls and they're going to take you down. So now we have established you need to just overcome that because who cares? Those people, they can go away or another planet or I don't know, disappear and it doesn't matter. But you have to understand that very fundamental. Accountability is something you can only find within your heart. And that's why, again, if you're passionate, passion is how you build a trust. That is spirituality because that means you are aligned. And every morning, if you stop your mind, that's how you do it. And accountability is the hardest thing. And I'm a very resilient guy. But I actually, with social media, like a couple months ago, I stopped posting. I just had it. It was a moment in time, and I had a couple of weeks where it's like, and it's okay. It's only human, by the way. It's not like you're horrible. Oh my God, I'm giving up. No, you're not giving up, but you're taking a step back because it's going up and down. Your emotional roller coaster. You better be ready for it. You're gonna have the highs of one sale. Even one sale, you're gonna be like, yes, I have something. And the next day, something happens, it takes you down and feels really, and that's fine. So I love it. Accountability is absolutely, I love it. I want to be called on my words and in 6 months to say, okay, and give you the truth too. Obviously, give you some story, but I won't.
All right. All right. So we're going to follow up with you in 6 months and see how things turned out. Okay.
I
All
love
right.
it.
Patrice, this is your time to shine now. This is the time where I want you to advertise yourself. Tell us how do we get a hold of you and all that good information. Okay. Ready,
All right.
set,
So name,
go.
yep, absolutely. So you can just go on my website, which is imageimpactindex.com. So the three words are all together.com. And that's the basis of what I do. You're gonna see what I do every day. There's some podcasts actually on it. It's how to build your brand. You can always connect with me directly because I'm very, very good with my community. So my email is info@talktopatrice.com. So that's my email, and that's where I receive the request from. I don't know, I'm going on a job interview. I'm stuck at that place. I'm going on a date. It's promotional review. I'm pitching a client. Whatever the question is, please. And on Facebook, you go to imageimpactindex.com. I actually have a private group there, and it's your appearance, your brand, your impact. And that's the private group I have. It's 400 people, not too big, just enough. There's a ton of content in there, and that's how you can find me. And my name is Patrice, Patrice, Bisio, Bisiot, because I know the French thing. It's not always easy for everybody. And that's how you find me.
Fantastic. And what is the name of your course that you just finished?
It's you only have a nanosecond to make a life lasting impact. So it's the art of brand, of building your brand.
Perfect. What I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, is put a link in the show notes. So if people want to take a look at that, take a look into that course, they could do it really easily.
And I'll do even better because that's something I'm doing only for my private people. If they subscribe, they will get actually, we just put a week of content because I want to deliver value before saying, yeah, something for sale. Yeah, okay, it's great and it's fun. And yes, we want to succeed at that too. But before that, you're going to actually discover who I am. You're going to understand how that works. So I'm going to give the link to Jesse, and that link, click on it, and you're going to be in my email list. And that's a private email list as of now, because I'm only doing the people that are in my email list, because I want to stay focused on who is really responding to it and who's truly engaged. But you're already going to have already a good amount of, you're going to have some tips and tricks. You're going to have 7 podcasts. You're going to have, I mean, there's a bunch of things that you're going to receive. My book, I'll give you my book for free, the PDF of my latest book. You'll get it for free. So yeah, some good stuff.
All right. All right, Patrice, thank you. Excuse me. All right, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I really super appreciate your time.
No, thank you very much. Thank you, Jesse, for having me.
Absolutely. All right, school believers, thank you very much. Y'all have a good evening. Make sure you stay tuned for the wrap up. All right, everybody, thank you. Bye bye. All right, ladies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Patrice. Patrice is awesome. I really love his message. I really love what he's doing, and listening to his story, his origin story, how he went from the toppity top to the bottom, and then all the way back up to the toppity top again. It's great to hear that people actually have that kind of resilience, like he was talking about earlier, to be able to come back out of those low parts to get to the high parts that we really want to be at. I love that he's put out a couple books, and I can't wait to I can't wait to see more about his course that he has that he's put together for us. So make sure you go into the show notes and take a look at that. Okay, so a little bit more about what's going on with me. Just to be completely honest with you, I haven't had a whole lot change since the last episode. I'm still working on a lot of different things, but not a whole lot to report at this particular time. So we're going to cut this one kind of short. Please like and subscribe and do all that cool stuff that I need you to do to spread the word to new entrepreneurs about this podcast. I hope I can get out there and just help more people. All right, school believers, thank you so much for another episode, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.